Self-improvement in real life, episode 7. So the last episode I made of this, I was on holiday and I was just enjoying a bit of time off. Been quite a busy few months really, since I hadn't really had any time off in the time before that, with the rugby, with work, with other shit that I needed to sort out. And basically this is just going to be a wee update on what's happened since then. The main things, I've got a new job. I've moved up to Edinburgh in the United Kingdom, capital of Scotland. Beautiful city. I definitely recommend visiting here, it's unbelievable. And yeah, so when I first got here I was living in a flat with my manager from my old work. He wasn't there so much because he lives mostly with his girlfriend, but he came over a few times and stuff. But the flat, I was really glad he gave me a really good rate for the month, and honestly I thank him so much for that. It was really good of him to give me that room. Since I started the work, he says, look, if you ever need anywhere to stay, I can do you this price for a month, just let me know. So I still had quite a lot of ties down where I came from, so I needed to be at home most of the time anyway, so I couldn't really move at that time, and to be honest I was broke as fuck, so I couldn't afford it at that time. But now with the new job I can get in there alright. And I mean, it was a good place. Well, I say good place, it wasn't very tidy. It was like his dog had a lot of hair and stuff, so it would be all over the place. It wasn't like I couldn't have stayed there long term, just in terms of my self-improvement and stuff. There was no sort of desk or table for me to sit and do work, which for me that's like the number one thing for me, is having a place to work at home. Because as much as it is nice to go to a cafe or something, when you're at a cafe then you spend more money. I've got free coffee so, and snacks, do what I want. And basically when I got there, I started the new job. I'm a concierge at a hotel, so basically needing to know the city, so I decided to start going out and exploring stuff after work. And yeah, it was alright for the first few months. I was doing my training very good, disciplined with the training, eating decent. I was going out every once in a while. But it got to the point where I was going out a wee bit too often, which I'll get to in the end, towards the end of the video. Something I'm really glad that I've done, because I always said this, like once I move up to Edinburgh I'm going to go out and have my first dinner on my own, completely on my own, don't invite anybody. And I've done that. I went to a lovely place called Fazenda, which is like a meat place where it's like a South American sort of themed place where you get a card that's green on one side, red on the other. So when it's green, the guys, they just keep walking around with like big poles of meat, and then they just they stop at your table, carve it off, you take it, and then they just keep bringing it stuff until you turn it red, eat the food, and then you can turn it green again. It's basically a buffet place where they bring the food to you. They have like a wee salad bar and stuff which you go help yourself to, so you pay one price, you get all that really good food for under that price. So it's basically you eat as much as you can, which I done. I rolled out there like a bowling ball and went back home after. But there was one shift I done at work. My car was in the garage, so I'd done a bit of overtime. Turned out the car wasn't going to be ready until the Monday, so this was a Friday. Decided to go for a few drinks on my own down at the grass market bit. Came back up to the work, got my bag, and as I was about to head to the bus stop, I decided I'll find another pub and have one more before I go back. It's a nice night. So I end up doing that, have a wee pint of my own, scrounge a cigarette off somebody, as you do. And this girl comes and sits at the table in front of me with a pint on her own as well, like pulls out a notebook for a wee bit, starts jotting down some shit. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I wonder if she's going to be like waiting for a date or something. So I waited for 5 minutes or so, no one comes, and I go up and ask her, are you expecting somebody? And she says no. So I was like, do you mind if I join you? I looked good that night, so she said yeah. So I ended up speaking to her for a wee bit, and then we ended up going to a wee dinner at a place called Bar Napoli. Been there before, quite nice. Got a feed on, bottle of wine, and then we go to a place called the Jazz Bar. And she was quite into like arts and stuff, and she was actually travelling from Switzerland. This shit, it was like a movie. I was thinking this in the morning afterwards. But anyway, she was only in Scotland for a couple of weeks. We go to the jazz bar. I'm having the time of my life. I love jazz. So I'm just sitting there tapping my foot, like a wee drink in my hand, gin tonic or something I think it was, or like a whiskey. And then we ended up going back to our Airbnb and stuff, and it was a good night. And for the first time in a year and I want to say like 2 months or something, I don't know the exact time frame, I ended up sleeping with a girl, which was nice. Say, as you know, sex isn't everything that's hyped up to me. It was hyped up to be. It was good sex, of course, naturally. But no, it was a nice experience. Like it was really good. So she goes out, get some coffee and shit in the morning, then we say our goodbyes and go our separate ways. I know she's only here for a wee bit, so I didn't want to sit and like meet again and stuff, and then sort of prolong that. And then it would have been the next Wednesday. I had some dinner that I went to at work, some wine and stuff, and then a few of the colleagues and stuff went out afterwards. Ended up meeting a girl there as well. There's another story from that night actually that I'm going to make a completely separate video about, girls that don't like older guys. It was quite an interesting experience, considering she was actually older than me, but we move on. So we go home, do shit, and then so I'm not going to see her again. I'm starting to get back into my routines and stuff, but the whole reason I'm telling these stories about the going out and stuff is when I got to the Sunday morning, I woke up for work. I was absolutely like fevers, headaches, throat sore as you like, and like I'd felt like that's also both the times I would have had about like 4 hours of very broken sleep. So it's, what it's like when you drink a lot and then you smoke and stuff and wake up. I mean, the rest of the day I was feeling fine. Naturally, I'm young and stuff, but it all kind of caught up to me this Sunday when I woke up for work, and unbelievable. Like the next sort of 3 days or something were horrible, standing, sweating, fevering and stuff, having to like lug luggage around and stuff like this, be friendly for customers and all of that. And that sort of energy crash taught me the big lesson of just need to get back on your shit. Like, you've had your sort of period of fun, which I've kind of done here and there. I'll go in and out of periods where I'll just go like nice dinners, drinks, go out, meet girls and stuff. I'll do that every once in a while. I've not really done it since the week I'd done it. It would have been since February maybe, since I'd last been like dating and went out once, I think, and then before that would have been again November sort of time. And I think it's just a very good reminder for myself to kind of let off that steam and then get back into the swing of things, start getting back on my sleep schedule and get back into the training really hard again. Stuff like I had to miss the gym this week because I was ill. I literally, instead of what I would do, I'd finish at 3:30, come home, eat, gym, train, then go back to sleep because I had another early shift the next day. But I would have to come home, eat and sleep for however much time I had before training, then go to training and train very mediocrely for those 2 days. And it was very eye-opening for me that I can't sustain that sort of enjoyment in that period. And that's something that's very important to teach to you as well, that you can't just constantly keep going out and expect to be attacking your goals with the same vigor and energy every day. Like, throughout the day I'll just go in and out of dips of low energy, low mood, and just sit there. It's just a disgusting way to live, honestly. That doing that constantly, you can't strive for things that way. And that's kind of main lesson I've kind of learned over the last month or so. As much as it is nice to go out and be able to have that freedom and stuff, you need to remember what's important to you. And for me, that's my purpose with the rugby, getting the YouTube and getting my finances built up. You need to, obviously, going out and stuff, you spend a bit of money, so you don't have as much to save up at the end of the month. So last month I had to pay like 2 months rent within the space of a few days, so this month I'm not going to be able to save anything because I need to eat. and I need to get to work and stuff and you travel, so I think it was worth it. And I think now that I've gotten that out of my system, the drinking, the eating nice food and stuff, I feel settled down again. I don't feel like I need to do that again for a wee while. I've got the season starting tomorrow, first game, and then the next there'll be about just under 3 months of rugby pretty much every weekend. So now I'm ready to go for that, and I've had my time off, relaxed, I've loosened off, and now I'm ready to get back into that focus mindset, which is really, really inspiring, really motivating for me. So that's gonna cap off this episode. When the next episode is, I'm not sure, but you'll be seeing videos anyway regularly, so I'll see you guys in the next video.